So I hate to say this, but we have another crisis. Unemployment is creating another crisis here in the United States. And you're not going to hear this from anyone else. Because right now, people are saying that unemployment, this is the best that it's been in a long time, which it is. The current unemployment rate is 3.4%. This sounds like really good news. And you are right. This is positive news. But what is so positive about this? Well, first off, this means more people are working, which is a good thing for the economy, which means it's strong, right? Here's the problem. If the economy is strong, if the unemployment rate is low, this means there's also positive inflation, which is creating a whole set of new problems. This is why I bring this up, because most news stations aren't talking about how unemployment is so low that it's a problem. They're talking about unemployment is so low, it's creating more jobs, more opportunity. But again, this is an issue. For the past 2 years, unemployment has not been a worry. This was initially a worry, not because of unemployment in general, but because of people losing their jobs, losing their income. But guess what? Congress decided to pass trillions of dollars in stimulus, and that money helped those that were unemployed. We got an additional $600 per week in enhanced unemployment benefits. Then it went to $300 or $400 per week. It was good. It was golden. It was great. But now we get reports that there was $191 billion in misused funds from this stimulus money. So that was initially in 2020. Then we worried about inflation in 2021. And then in 2022, last year, it wasn't about inflation. It was about interest rates. How fast were they going to rise? How much would they slow down the economy? The worry today? Unemployment. But why? Why in the world would we be worried about unemployment when we just saw the monthly jobs increase by 570,000 jobs in the month of January? Why would we worry? We saw the unemployment rate drop from 3.7% in November down to 3.4% today. So how is this a problem? Well, here's what I can tell you. Low unemployment numbers, this means that the economy is still very strong, which normally is a good thing. However, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has stated that a weaker economy will bring down inflation, or at least help bring down inflation. But a stronger economy, it's just the opposite. This means it's going to push inflation back up, which again, this was our worry 2 years ago, and now we're back at it. If we are worried about inflation today, that's a concern because the American people have less money. We know the US government does not have any money, and we do not have a lot of power. We don't have a lot of options other than raising interest rates to bring down inflation. Again, this is a horrible situation to be in. And then on top of all of this, then we got a debt ceiling that we have to discuss and we have to worry about before June. And again, Congress, as of right now, is struggling to come up with any answers as to how they are going to address the debt ceiling. But again, it doesn't stop there. One of the reasons why unemployment is so low right now is because employees still have a lot of power. Why would an employee want to leave a job that they are somewhat happy with? They like the benefits, they like the wages, and then on top of that, they can work from home for 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week. Why would anybody want to leave that cushy job? And besides, who would get fired when they barely even make it into the office? They're only in the office for, let's say, 1 or 2 days a week. What's the likelihood you're going to get fired? Nobody knows what you're even doing. So this is turning into another major problem. And I want to address this because this is something that I deal with as well. Companies, as of right now, are contemplating whether or not they keep employees here in the United States, or do they go find people elsewhere? Again, if you're working remotely, it doesn't matter if you are working in Seattle, Washington. You're working in, New York, New York. You're working in Miami, Florida. You could be working in, Bozeman, Montana. It doesn't matter. But why would some company that is worried about their costs, why would they hire somebody within the United States? Well, for a lot of people, and I've been doing this for about 14 years, 15 years, I've been hiring people from other countries. For example, India, the Philippines. This is where I go and I hire people. Okay, Manila, incredible people, incredible workers there. Okay, this is where I go hire people because guess what? It's a fraction of the cost. Why would a company not look into outsourcing work to other countries, which they can get a similar result? All right. Again, I know this because I outsource work and I've been doing this for over 14 years. I don't hire within the United States, not because I don't want to, because people are not qualified. They're more than qualified, but at the same time, you want to be successful, look at your costs. Okay? And for a lot of stuff that I do, I don't need somebody that speaks perfect English. I am perfectly fine finding somebody that their English is okay, it's decent, I can understand them, and we can move past that. Because if all I'm asked them to do is use Photoshop, okay, edit a letter, right, update a website, right, manage copywriters, I don't need somebody that has perfect English. I need them to just go and get what I asked them to do the research, pull it, give me the information. That's it. I'll do with what what I need to. But that's just me. Now you're probably thinking, well, that is just you. I don't think anyone's doing that. Well, guess what? Talk to a few of my friends. A couple of my friends had this to say. One person said, I have let go of all my staff that didn't want to come back in. We don't get a lot of local marketing contracts, so I've decided to outsource like we used to. The person that I talked to was somebody that I worked with, when we started a social media marketing agency. And when we did this, again, we outsourced the majority of our work, the majority of it. We wanted a post for Instagram. Guess what? Did we create it? No, somebody else did. Okay, likely from India. This other person that I talked to said this: remote work was a good option during the pandemic, but now that things have normalized, it is not needed. I recently laid off 15 employees who didn't feel the need to come into the building at all. I initially thought this was going to be difficult to replace them, but it was much easier than I thought. Probably the best decision I made for the company. That is a similar sentiment that businesses have. Is it's going to be difficult. I don't want to do it. The company's doing just fine as it is, but if you make this minor adjustment, bring down your costs, and you get the same results accomplished, does it matter where the work is coming from? In most places, no. Again, this is what is coming. When companies regain all their power that they once had, guess what? Expect unemployment to go back up. But until then, here's what's going to happen. Expect upward pressure on, from unemployment. Expect that we are going to see more, inflation. Which again, if we see additional inflation, okay, that upward pressure on inflation, guess what? This means the Federal Reserve has to continue to be aggressive in slowing down inflation, which means higher interest rates. When we have higher interest rates, this means that housing is more expensive, buying a car more expensive, just credit card debt in general, all more expensive. And the one thing that we cannot handle here in the United States is additional expenses. So that is why this unemployment issue is creating another crisis. Many people don't see it this way, but this is what is going to happen. All right? So if you have any questions whatsoever, ask your questions down in the comment section below. Do me 2 favors. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Also, feel free to share this with your friends and family over on Facebook so they too know what's going on. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.